guys, it's Hope and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing the second episode in my completing my summer bucket list series. So it's going to be the first video of me actually completing it. The first episode was of me writing my summer bucket list, so if you haven't seen that yet, you should definitely go check it out. I'll link it in the description and I'll have it in one of these two corners. Before we get started with the video, here are today's shoutouts. Let's just get into it. As you'll know, I recently went to summer camp, and then right after that, my dad picked my sister and I up, and we stayed at Big Cedar Lodge for a few days, and one day we just spent the entire day out on the lake, which was so much fun. And I also completed a few things for my summer bucket list. Firstly, I completed go tubing. I did that at camp a lot, so it was pretty much already done, but obviously I can't film at camp, so I just did a lot of tubing. My sister also tubed. We did some tubing together and we did some tubing on our own. My dad drove us crazy. Like, I was bouncing, flying. There were points where I'm pretty sure my tube wasn't even on the water. Like, I think my tube was just like on the air, swinging around. It was insane, but it was so much fun. Also, with my dad driving, I got pretty good at staying on because he was just going everywhere. So if I wanted to actually tube, I had to be able to get pretty good at staying on. Also, while we were at the lake, I did some kneeboarding, which I had done at camp. But while it was just my sister, my dad, and I got really good at it. I was able to go in and out of the lake, and I was able to do a few other cool tricks. We also tried kneeboarding, which I tried and tried and tried, but I could not get. However, my sister had no problem with it. Next, I got very sunburnt. I put sunscreen on multiple times. It just was not enough when we were constantly out in the sun. I didn't get any pictures of how sunburnt I was, but my face was a little pink and then my legs were just bright red. I got in the shower that day and it was the most painful shower I've ever had. The water wasn't even that hot, but it was burning my skin. Oh my gosh. I definitely need to put on even more sunscreen, although I had put on a lot. So really when you're just out in the sun that much, it's hard to not get sunburnt. Another thing on my bucket list is to do something that scares me. And I found what it was. So I'm not like scared of a lot of things. I'm pretty adventurous. But we found this cliff and there was like no rocks under it and it was pretty high up. So when we got up to it, my dad was like, you girls should go jump off of that. And we had no idea how to get up to it. So he was like driving the boat around some. And also while we were doing that, he got up really close to the cliff. And with the boat, he was able to see like how deep it was. And it was like 40 or 50 feet. So there was nothing like to be worried about, but obviously it was still scary. Like in the back of our minds, there was the thought like, oh no, what if there are rocks that were gonna fall? And even though like we knew there wouldn't be, we ended up finding a spot where we could get up. So we swam to some rocks and my sister and I climbed up. My dad had to stay in the boat because someone had to stay in the boat. And after a little bit of exploring, we managed to find a way to get up to the cliff. And once we got up there, it was so much higher than it looked like from the boat. Like from the boat, it did not look that high up at all. But when you're up there and looking down, it is so tall. And I wasn't scared until that point. And then I looked down and I was like, oh no. I had a life jacket. So even like if something did happen, I would still like come up. And we knew there weren't rocks. So obviously that was still like in the back of my mind. Like I made my dad come like almost right up at the cliff and I was like, how deep is the water now? But it was really scary. And I stood up there for a little bit and my dad had to like take multiple videos because he wanted to film me jumping, but he only wanted to film when I actually jumped. He didn't want to film me just staring at the water for a while. So eventually I did it and I wanted to make my sister go first, partly because I didn't want to then have to climb up and walk down with her if she got too scared, but also because I wanted to see someone do it first. But she promised me, she was like, I hope if you do it, I'll do it, because my sister was even more scared than I was, so I had to like pretend I wasn't scared at all so that way she wouldn't freak out. But eventually I did it. Also, as soon as I jumped, I was loving it. I screamed, and it was kind of a nervous scream, but it was also like a happy scream. And then when I came up, I was so excited, and I really wanted to do it again, but we couldn't.
Go!
And then my sister, once she had seen me go, I think she just like didn't want to freak herself out, so she was like, oh, I think I just have to go. So my dad was barely even able to get hers on camera because almost as soon as I went, she went. After we got back from the trip, I took a few days to get back kind of into the normal swing of things. And one thing I had not done for the longest time, but I really wanted to do, was bake. And online I found these crumble cookie inspired recipes, so I wanted to make them. So I ended up making 3 batches of crumble cookie inspired cookies in the span of like 5 days. It was a little bit insane and definitely unhealthy, the amount of cookies that I baked and ate, but they were so good. I'll link the recipes in the description. I definitely recommend you make them, especially the last one, which is like a chocolate Oreo cookie. So good. The first cookies we made were a cookies and cream milkshake cookie. And also when I was making them, I got a double yolk egg, so that was kind of cool. A few days later, I decided to make these s'mores cookies, and those were good, but not as good as the others. Then a few days later, some of our family friends were visiting, and my friend Sydney and I decided to bake these chocolate Oreo cookies. They were literally the yummiest things ever. Oh my gosh, I cannot even describe them well enough. I absolutely recommend baking them. They were so good. For a cookie? That's good. It literally tastes like a brownie in like cookie form.
It does. It doesn't taste like a cookie.
Anyways, that is the end of today's video. There will be more videos in this series to look forward to, so stay tuned for those. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like it, then subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. For a chance to get a shout out in the next one, share this video with one or more of your friends and let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!